guys, my name's Adam if this is your first time here. Today we're going to be talking about The Last Action Hero for SourceFed Nerds Movie Club. Now, for those of you that aren't as old as I am, maybe weren't around for the hype, maybe it's your first time watching it, I gotta let you in on something before you start talking about this movie. It's actually a really bad movie. I know you might be fooled watching it because it's a lot of fun and there's some pretty enjoyable parts of it, and Arnold plays two parts in this movie. But no, terrible movie, terrible critical reception, so I wouldn't want anybody to be caught saying something good about this movie. This movie is about, a kid who basically gets to live out his dream by finding a ticket that is magical and can help him get into the movies. He finds Arnold Schwarzenegger living out every Hollywood cliche in the world, and this movie's got that cool kind of meta humor that's become popular in the last couple years, but don't make any mistake about it, terrible fucking movie. You don't want to watch this. And that's one thing that I think was interesting about this. There's definitely a case to say that maybe it was ahead of its time, because now this, maybe at that time Hollywood wasn't quite ready to receive a movie that was as self-referencing and hip and challenges a lot of the stereotypes in the industry as it is now. Also, another way that it has definitely improved over time is the references to the governor of California. A lot of them are kind of like, whoa, that's weird. You would think that somebody knew where he was going. And I know that Arnold Schwarzenegger has had political aspirations. He said he's going to be the president of the United States from the day that he got in America. But there's no way they could have known that he was going to do them. My favorite part of this movie, in an eerie way, is when a character turns to Arnold's character and says, the only thing worse than movies are politicians. He lists a lot of terrible things, but he starts off, movies aren't that bad, and he lists there's crime, there's war, there's this, there's that, and then there's politicians. And the look on Arnold's face is priceless. Probably because he's dating a politician. That was probably, he's dating Kennedy, Maria Shriver at the time. Probably a reference to that. I don't know, but very eerie to watch it now. And with that said, I had a lot of fun watching this. Don't let anybody know. I thought it was really cool that they had an animated cat in this movie, and they're just like, he's like, this is a movie. This is a movie. There's an animated cat over there. And they're just like, yeah, he was only suspended for a couple days. He's supposed to be over there. There's an animated cat here. You're not listening. Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow. He'll be here the next day. He's going to be here every day. He works here. What's wrong with that? And then the kid's like trying to prove to him, you're in a movie. You're in a movie. He writes something down. And he's like, say this word. And he's like, I'm not going to say that word. And he's like, you can't say that word because it's a PG movie. And he's like, this is just ridiculous. I thought it was awesome. I also thought it was cool that even the sort of the ahead of the curve kid who knows that he's in a movie, he still falls for all of the things that he falls for. It sort of legitimizes the things that are being criticized. It's almost like you'd fall for it too. There's one scene where he's like, he's biking on his bike and he's like, this has got to work out, I'm in a movie. And then he goes, I'm the comic relief sidekick, and he realizes he's going to fail. It definitely makes you feel like you could have fallen for this as well. Some things that I didn't like about this movie, I thought it had a few sort of detours that could have been edited out. I also thought the ending part of the movie was a little bit long. I think that once they sort of broke, and once Arnold's character got into the real world, it was definitely took a little bit longer to wrap up than it needed to. With that said, I thought it was really cool that the whole premise, the comedic premise of this movie is the difference between real reality and movie reality, but I also thought it was really cool that a bad guy kind of figured out, like, hey, I'm in a world where I can win. That's really cool, awesome twist and take on this movie. Another thing, speaking of comedy, I wasn't going to do this, but whatever. I read this book not that long ago, and this movie reminded me of this book. It's called The Hidden Tools of Comedy by Steve Kaplan. He talks about the difference between a comedic character and a dramatic character, and the main difference being skills and tools. If you give more skills and tools to a character, they're more dramatic. This movie challenges that because Arnold is funny because he has so many skills. He's psychic in this movie. He knows there's a guy that's going to be in his closet. He can practically dodge bullets. He can dodge an axe that's thrown at him, and he's got everything planned ahead of time. He can do no wrong. He's so perfect. It's It's funny. And I guess that's funny because of exaggeration. I don't know. With that said, that's really all I have to say about this movie. I'd love to recommend it to you, but I can't because we all know it's a terrible movie. Thanks for watching and have a good day.